It's the most wonderful time of the year, with the kids jingle belling and
Yes, it absolutely is the most wonderful time of the year. Fantasy playoffs. They are now kicking off in full swing. And my, has it been beautiful so far. I could not have scripted a better first round. It made me happy. So, I'll dive into why. I played Cliff. Now, it does kind of hurt me to say this a little bit because I did beat Cliff, and it was a good game, very high scoring for both teams, 130 to 119. That being said, both of our quarterbacks, if you combine their points, they scored 86 points. That's absolutely ridiculous. After Yes, it was after the 3 o'clock game. Whenever Russell Wilson scored, I think, like 38. I was even thinking, I was like, man, it's done. Cliff played the wrong one. There's no way he's going to be able to get that many points with Cam Newton. Even though I think he played the better quarterback in my matchup. I was thinking this. Because 38 is a lot of friggin' points. And then Cam Newton comes through and scores 45. He's like, suck it, I would have never thought at the end of the 12 o'clock noon games that the 80-yard touchdown run by Marcus Mariota was necessary for me to win. I thought after that, that's just icing on the cake. It's done. Then freaking Cam Newton. Good Lord. Who got to him? But, it's a good game. It was. 130, 119, that is a high-scoring affair for sure. It is a shame one of us did have to lose, but if I had to pick one, I'm glad it was not me. Then we get to the next game of the week. Matt, my new hero, and Sean, the little bastard. Matt beat that ass. Yes. And for that, I'm going to have me a slight little celebratory, cheers to Tina here. Oh, beautiful. 128 to 96. Finally caught up to Sean. Finally caught up. Now, what do I mean by that? Let's go back to last week. Sean scored 65. Cliff scored 81. Sean lost. Week before. Where are we at? Matt scored 40. Sean won. Go back the week before. 76 against Sean. Week before, 79. Week before, 72. The luck was strong with that one. Week before, 93. That's a little better, but not quite as bad. So it's finally got to him. Despite Antonio Brown's best efforts. I'm pretty sure after this year, he is just going to say, for the love of God, get me away from there. He did everything in his power. He ran a punt back. He caught 2 touchdown passes, I think. It was ridiculous. The man is a great receiver, but it's funny what happens whenever there's not an Odell or a Jordy Nelson that falls into someone's lap. So that being said, Tom Brady got 36 for Matt, so that helped him out quite a bit. I would like to think that this is all just a compounding of fantasy karma that has occurred to Mr. Poole. What do I mean by that? Well, this goes back before the season started. I believe there was our draft, and then immediately following our draft, I went to Colorado for 6 days roughly. Maybe a little more. And I remember looking there and saying, Sean drafted my backup running back in like the 5th or 6th round. Stupid, by the way. And I remember thinking, I would like to have my backup running back, just for safety's sake. So I offered him a very legitimate trade. At the time, I know Steve Smith, I threw out there, said, if you want him, you can have him. Eric Decker, who is still a very good receiver this year, who I had to drop to make room for slight roster tweakings. And I believe there was one more, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. So I was like, one of those 3, or any combination of 2 of those, just for a backup running back. No, not going to do it. You're not, nope. Okay, fast forward about 6 weeks. Mid-season, in the midst of the Antonio Brown terrible weeks, I guess, I don't know, the downhill approach. where Ben Roethlisberger was out, and I literally offered half of my friggin' team for Antonio Brown, who was sucking, and a backup running back. I would not do it. It was it was more than fair at the time. Now, hindsight, one of those guys did tear his Achilles. Okay. At the time, he was perfectly healthy. So, karma coming there. Fast forward to, I believe it was week 8. So, third strike. Yeah, you beat me. But guess what? You didn't do anything. The fantasy gods took Le'Veon Bell from me. And Bruce Arians lied about John Brown playing. Both things of which, if they had both not happened, victory would have been mine. But you celebrated like you won the Super Bowl. Not the Fantasy Bowl. Like the legitimate Super Bowl. Like that was the crowning moment of your entire life. And so now, they always say, he who laughs last, laughs best. And as your team is officially eliminated, I'm laughing. Tina is laughing. So, I don't even care. I could lose this week, although I would definitely like to beat Ashton. I could lose, and I would still be happy because my team is defying odds and expectations now. Despite all the injuries, we are forging ahead. So, that is the end of my little rant. All I can say is suck it, Sean. And moving on. Round 2. I play Ashton. So, Ashton, we face off again. I believe you won the matchup during the regular season. So that means it is my turn for victory. At least I would like to think so. Then we have Matt and Seth. So another showdown on Fire Tower Road. Should be interesting. Seth, nothing personal. Because as we have established, you are no longer my mortal enemy. But I would like to see Matt win. 2 reasons. Reason number 1. Matt, I feel like he's like my brother in arms. You know, we have suffered by far the most injury-ravaged team. You know, his hit, mine hit, like same. I feel like we're in the same boat. That is reason number 1. So I would like to see, you know, a fellow, you know, injury-riddled team, you know, coming through despite all the odds. Reason 2. We will literally never hear the end of it if you win 2 friggin' times, championship-wise. So, I think I speak for the rest of the entire league whenever I say we do not want you to win. Nothing personally, but I think it is best for everyone if you lose. Either this week to Matt or next week to hopefully myself. And moving on from there, we'll let the games begin. Then we have the bottom bracket, and we have Estes playing James, the showdown, I don't know, en route for the Chop. Chop looking to avoid the trophy, who bears his name. Chop is playing Joe, and Estes is playing James, so lots of good times surely to come ahead. This weekend I hope to see whoever decides to come out for the little brouhaha shindig, you know, all that good stuff. So, you know, I've got nothing else. I feel like pretty much wraps it up. Nothing else I would like to say. You know, I think what's needed to be said has been said. So, you know, peace, love, save the whales, and Ashton, I do believe you could say, you know, Ernest Hemingway, overrated. Peace.